what we explained previously. Malchus of Atzilus, Malchus, royalty, sovereignty, the last of the 10 divine attributes, is what is what's responsible for creation, or vested in. I don't know if responsible is the right word, but vested within it the creative force of creating something from nothing. And as we explained that there was a union between the male and female parts, Zod, the 6 divine attributes, emotive attributes, male, and Nukva, that from there we get souls and angels that are created, right? Through that union. And the light of Malchus, as opposed to the vessel of Malchus, right? It breaks through from Atzilus, it breaks through what's called a parsa. A parsa is a separation, it's like a curtain between the world of emanation, the world of Atzilus, which is emanation of God, not creation of God. Creation is something from nothing. Emanation is like our aura that emanates from us, so to speak. It's not what we do. It's not us, but it's the aura. I give that by way of metaphor. As opposed to what we do, so to speak, which is the worlds that we create. So there is now, to go from Atzilus into Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya, which are created worlds. So there's a parsa, this curtain that it has to go through, the divinity. And of course, what does it do when it goes through that? It loses some of its intensity. And because it loses some of the intensity of the light, right? So what we have is as follows. What goes through there is we have Malchus Vatzilus that radiates, that's in the Kav, the radiation of the Kav from the infinite of the Ein Sof. So you have the Ein Sof, limitlessness of God. Kav means a line. It's a metaphor to understand the first. It's the first possibility of limitation. It's the ultimate source of limitation. And so you have the Ein Sof, you have the Kav, the radiation of the Kav, and you have Malchus Vatzilus. They all are vested in Atzilus, but when they go through the curtain that veils into the world of Bria, what happens is the light of Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya is utterly different than the light, the godly light, as it is in Atzilus. Now, this radiation of the Kav that we're talking about, it radiates the vessels of the 10 divine attributes of Malchus and Atzilus, right? And the vessels of the attributes are divine in Atzilus. So they pierce the parsa, this curtain, together. So we have the Ein Sof, we have the Kav, the radiation of the Kav, the vessels of the 10 divine attributes of the 10 spheres as they are vesseled, contained in Malchus, and they pierce together and radiate now in the world of Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya, and the neshama level of the light is what's divine now in the worlds that are created. Now, with this radiation of the Kav, what comes as a result of this, because it's radiating investing itself in the vessels, the 10 vessels of Atzilus, this is the source of the nature of the world. The way the vitality is in accordance to the thing that invests itself. Like, by way of example, the vitality of the fact that my eye can see is because the soul vests itself into its unique particular way into the eye to be able to see. And the soul vests itself in its particular way in the ear that it can hear. Right? So likewise, this is now talking about the Ein Sof that is now gives rise to the Kav, the source of limitation. It vests itself into Malchus, the vessel element of Malchus, right? The vessel, and it pierces the Kav, the part. It pierces the separation between Atzilus and the world of creation. And now the light of the neshama of the divine attributes of Malchus, right? That becomes the divinity of that world that gives creation to what's natural in that world. What does nature mean? Nature means that which is in accordance to what the vessel can contain. Again, the eye that hears, the eye that sees rather, and the ear that hears. Then there's at the same time, not only is the ray of the Kav vested, which a ray means already a come down. It's only the ray of the Kav. But then there's the Kav itself that's vested into this world. Right. The very Kav itself. Again, Kav means line. It is the potential of limitation, right? Above. Now the Kav itself, how it reflects itself in this world, not the ray of the Kav, not the radiation, but the Kav itself, is the wonderment in this world. Because the Kav itself does not vest itself in the vessel of the divine attributes, because it's too powerful for it. Right? The ray of it does, but not the Kav itself. It's sort of like, there's the person themselves. Their presence is too much. Their aura, maybe something, which is the ray of them. Oh, okay, that's something you can, right, by way of metaphor. So it comes down, it too pierces, through the parsa, through this curtain that veils, and it comes not clothed in, not vested in the vessel of the divine attributes as they are in Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya, but only as a beyond that, and therefore that gives rise to wonderment in this world. Not miracles that break the order of nature, but a wonderment in this world that we see often. Things that are wondrous, they're not breaking the laws of nature, but they are a wonderment in nature. That's the Kav itself. However, as we continue in the 20th letter, so we speak about nature being sourced in the ray of the Kav, wonderment is sourced in the Kav itself, as the Kav meaning the line of the source of limitation, as it pierces through the curtain that separates the Parsa from the world of emanation to the world of creation, to be the source of creation. But the essence and the nature of the infinite Ein Sof, it's in no way subject to space. So it cannot be said that this light is found in Atzilus in one manner, and in the world of creation, Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya, in a different manner. When we talk about the Kav, which is the power of limitation, so we can speak about radiation of the Kav itself. So there's going to be distinction. It's going to create something, be the source of something that's going to be the nature of the world, that which is wondrous of the world, but there will be an being that it can vest itself in creation in a manner that therefore there is gradations in nature and even in wonderment, right? The 9 wonders of the world, there's greater wonders, lesser wonders. Nature, right? Again, the nature of the eye that it sees versus the ear that hears, the hand that moves, all different investitures, different gradations of the soul as it is found within the body. So likewise, the way God is found in the world. But when we speak about the essence of the Ein Sof, so we can't say that the light of God's, the infinite of God, is found one place more than another place, right? Rather, God encompasses all of the worlds equally. And that's what the verse says, I fill the heavens and the earth uniformly. That there's no place or spiritual level that's devoid of him, whether in the physical or in the spiritual. So in this manner, we can only speak about this light, this aspect of God, as it's found within creation, as an encompassing, right? So when we say that God is the very essence of God's infinite being is found in all worlds equally. So we don't mean the extension, the investment of him, but him himself. Now, from here, the act of creating something from nothing, which is an act of revelation, cannot come directly from the Ein Sof, because the Ein Sof is utterly concealed within creation. So it's vested within the spheres, the divine attributes, the 10, and specifically Malchus, royalty, that reveals that power. Now, in revealing that power, the extension of the life force and the creative power that emanates is by means of a radiation from radiation of a radiation of the Kav. Now, let's explain what that means. A radiation